Alright, so. Yeah, if I go quiet, it's because I am stuffing my face. So, yeah, we are going to, like, still kind of progress a little bit, but, yeah, be prepared for me to go quiet. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves, 100%. Yes, all hail freaking food, man. Like, I know I can literally eat whenever I want to, but at the same time, I just actively choose not to. Because I'm an idiot. And I like, you know, my games. But I'm doing my best to multitask. Oh yeah, there's a chicken bacon ranch pizza out there that is freaking delicious.
Revelio. Accio.
Galleons.
Guardian Leviosa.
Let's see, we want to put that back on the door.
Revelio.
Yeah, I'm just letting the pizza cool down right now because, yeah, if I go after it right now, I'm probably gonna have like 3rd-degree burns.
Guardian Leviosa.
You are head and shoulders above these bones. Nicely done.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. God. Oh, my ADD kicks in so freaking always. Oh, I love it. Death by pizza. Well, I almost drowned myself in Gatorade. I wouldn't doubt if, like, I accidentally, like, you know, ended up almost choking myself with pizza. It's within the realm of possibilities. We shouldn't joke about this. Do you know how often, like, you might mention something and it's just like, oh, hey, like, now it happened? You're gonna feel real bad if it actually does happen.
Incendio.
Smack. Smack. Okay, that's the big ones. We got just the small ones now. Oh my god, did you see that? I didn't realize I had an animation like that. The thing was trying to dig, and I literally picked it up by its legs and ripped its legs off.
Bit dramatic, isn't it? Revelio.
You try raising if you die. Lols. Yeah, I'll be like something akin to like Walt Disney, just instead of like freezing myself with cryo shit, like it's literally I'm actually hoping for like a team of necromancers to go ahead and do that. You know, actually in Total War there's actually a character that does that. Is he essentially essentially he goes through and pretty much trains like a college of like people, and they're essentially all like trying to just figure out how to beat death. It's the Nahakarans. You do unboxings? No, I do not. I do not have money to buy like things to unbox. So maybe in the future if I get into it, like, you know, I do want to get into, like I said, D&D is a big thing I want to get into. I like 40k lore and fantasy lore and everything like that, but again, it's, you kind of require friends to do all of this stuff, and I'm developing that. But god damn it, it's on the to-do list, okay? Like I said, I don't want the main point of this to be money, but every, like, at least at the beginning, like, every penny is going to feed into, like, what I'm doing. So, like, if people like it, and they start, you know, wanting to go ahead and support stuff, like, I'm not going to put, like, a Patreon or anything, yeah, like, I'm not gonna put anything like that up until I get a few people asking. It's like, hey, like, I really care about what you're doing, like, how can we, like, help you? I'm not doing any of that before I make affiliate. So yeah, that's gonna be in the future. Like I'm not doing this for the hopes of a paycheck. In the long term, maybe.
This place.
But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and think about that now. Yeah, pretty much. All hail Nurgle. But yeah, once that does start happening though, I want to go ahead and use like the proceeds, at least at first, to like pretty much increase the value of the product that we're putting out, which means a better mic or like hardware if I need it, or you know, if we need editing software, you know, I'd love to like help Archer upgrade his kit and everything like that, you know. There's a lot of things on the list that we can go ahead and do, but it's all, like I said, going to feed back into itself. And then fucking spiders. We'll get rid of the matriarch. Squeeze. Do you see that? I squeeze him. Squeeze. But yeah, that's kind of the idea right now. Is
For a moment there, I thought
I'll upgrade all my stuff further. I've already put about like $500 into my upgrades, like between the graphics card and like the all the shit I had to go through for the solid state. And I am thinking about upgrading from 2 8GB sticks of RAM to 2 16s. So like more money, you know. It's all fucking money, 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 and I fucking hate it. But it's the world we live in, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the idea as far as like anything like that for right now. And if it is something where it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, do you like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you like Pokemon? Yeah, like I'm literally like I've got a Sunseed deck literally on my desk. I just don't have friends to play it with. I have a Pokemon deck, again, just don't have friends to play it with anymore.
Sebastian, the relic. Look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. It's gonna come from us, like, obviously. Like, that's why I'm getting a job, is I want to put money into this. I want it, like, I've played around, like, with stocks and everything for a little bit. I played around with a lot of, like, stuff, but, like, this is the first time I've had a chance to invest in myself. And that's what I'm treating this as.
The note and rendition.
And also
of the
a
relic.
one ticket
It
out.
matches. This must be
Oh,
where the
yeah.
student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines
Like I
up.
said, I've spoken to you at length already as far as like all of that. It's gonna take some time, but you just gotta keep working on it. It's just like this fucking channel. It's gonna keep, you know, it's gonna take time. I don't want to get a job, like I want to do this full time. But if for this to have the best chance of working, I'm getting that job. So we all have to make sacrifices. Unfortunately, I fucking hate that we do, but. The way I see it is, the reason that what'll make us different is where everybody else would have given up, we continued, you know.
The note advises to leave the relic alone.
I assure you, we were meant to find it.
A happy ending never comes easy. It always takes sacrifice, it always takes work. It's just how much are you willing to give, and how far are you willing to go.
Especially from my uncle. Is that ominous?
See, this is why I stay off of social media. This is why I have you doing that, is like, I don't want to spend my time on stuff like that. You know, I want to create my own path. I don't want to see people living their lives. I want to live my own life. And that's what I feel like social media does to me, or like does to people, is like they're so worried about everybody else's life and everything like that, they forget to live their own.
Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help.
I'm gonna eat some pizza.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like I said,
Sebastian, please.
You know,
take a step back.
I'm hoping to go ahead and anybody who has those dreams of just a community, like, that's what I want the Hellfire Tavern to be, is like, that's their community. Like I said, you might, I don't know you seem very attached to the name Legion, but like you gotta think. I would think that the community is more important to you than like the Legion. Like as far as a name, the community over the name. But yeah, we will figure that out for sure. But it's just things to keep in mind. Like I said, I'm trying to build a community. You want a community? We can do that. Like they can be intertwined. But like it's gonna be really rough if we're trying to do it spread too thin, and we're trying to call it two different things. We just gotta funnel it into one thing. So that's the idea, and we will speak about that more later. I'm gonna start this conversation so I can eat some damn pizza.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I was glad to hear you tell Sebastian to leave the relic. We need to stand together. Convince Sebastian this is wrong.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way.
Ah, breathing break. God damn. You know, it's really hard to, like, efficiently cram as much pizza into your mouth as humanly possible during a fucking, like, dialogue sequence. Oh. Let me say ominous is too. Ha. God damn it, shipping these characters. Why do I feel like we should be able to get back here? Nope. But no. Like, I get both sides of the story, 100%. Like, you know, doing extreme things for a chance to save somebody you care about, and also, like, you know,
Is that it?
not doing it because of the risk. You know, it's...
That the relic is too important to ignore.
Good night, Steph.
Be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what was needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
Okay, so the platform is the Hellfire Tavern, and it is,
I never wanted to keep all
yeah,
this
sweet
from
dreams,
Ominous.
Steph. But,
Doesn't understand.
yeah, the Hellfire Tavern is the Discord, it is the platform. It's built around Infrit TV, which is the streaming and everything like that. It is also the dream building, like, later on. That, like, once the streaming and whatnot is supporting it, like I said, we can have a business that's potentially losing money. But, the patrons is what I'm talking about the hashtag for. What I was talking about earlier is what do we call our patrons and everything. That way they can find us on Twitter and everything like that, you know. Or it's just research I did. It's a good idea to have, like, a hashtag for a community, so.
It's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew.
That's why I'm talking about the hashtag and everything. But, you know, right now, like, Hellfire Tavern is the platform which is all built around Infrit TV. Later on, we are going to expand that out into, like, you know, depending on how well the D&D stuff does, we'll expand into that. The movie nights, you know, like I said, the community is going to be the Hellfire Tavern. I'm trying to think of the hashtag to, like, kind of have the moniker for our patrons for, like, you know, anything that we're doing or events, you know, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I researched, that's what it said is a good idea to do. So I'm trying to do that, just to, like, have ease of access for everybody. But that's the main idea behind it, if that makes any sense. So, like, at the end of my videos, you know, to me, it's a lot cleaner and it sounds a lot more organized, and, like, we know what we're doing more so if I'm like, hey, like, you know, yeah, this has been Infrit on behalf of all of us at the Hellfire Tavern, thank you for showing up, versus, like, you know, hey, this is Infrit, and, oh, by the way, we also have the group of the Hellfire Tavern over here that's doing their own thing, and we also have the Legion over here who's doing their own thing, we have these guys back here. I don't know what they're called because there's too many damn names going on, but they're doing something too. You know, I would rather say from those of us here at the Hellfire Tavern, you know. So, I mean, I am going to kind of, I don't know, I think I am going to have to set that kind of line where it's like, you know, if you're choosing to, like, join our platform and use our platform, it will have to fall under that platform, you know, as far as, like, you know, if we do go with, like, the hashtag and everything, it will be, like, the Devil Dogs and everything like that. Like, there'll probably be, like, a subsect in there where it's, like, you know, the Hellfire Tavern D&D or something like that, but, you know, it is going to be one of those, like, committing to the platform, if, like, you're going to use that platform to, like, get your community up. But what I'm kind of trying to sell you, I guess, is the idea that, like,
This isn't good.
the communities will be able to commingle, and, like, it'll be more successful if it's one community versus, like, you know, two separate entities anyway. Because some people might join the channel just for the D&D. Just like how I'm fairly certain a lot of people are going to join, you know, they might, you know, join just for the gaming and not the D&D. And there's some people that will want to do both. You know, they're pretty interchangeable. And a lot of people like to watch the D&D, so that's why it's like, okay, like, we can definitely make it where, hey, we're streaming these D&D campaigns. But like I said, I'll go more in-depth with it. Like I said, you know, it was just thought of today, so it is still bare bones. But, we'll go more into it later. Like I said, I want to find some way to tie it all together in a very neat and organized bow. Because, you know, it's one thing to spread ourselves too thin, and it's another thing to outwardly state, like, hey, we are into so much shit that we actually don't have, like, a vision at all. We don't have a consensus. We're literally just throwing it at everything and seeing what sticks. Like, I want us to seem like, you know, we have an idea of, like, what we're doing. That's really my only issue with, like, the different names. Okay, time to...
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt.
Expelliarmus would have been just as good.
You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
There was little time to react. but it was an unforgivable curse.
I acted in the moment. That's all. I shall make my uncle see reason. He cannot banish me from my own home, from my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
I'm so fucking hungry. But, nah, Caesar, definitely, like, you know, let's talk about it outside of stream. You know, we'll, be able to kind of work out, and I'm sure we can come to something where it's like, yeah, like, what I'm worried about, like, we can figure out. Because I think we've agreed, like, multiple times at this point that, like, yeah, like, working together is going to be more beneficial to both platforms.
Sebastian acted rashly, but he acted out of instinct to save Anne.
Out of instinct? With an unforgivable curse?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
This family does not resort to using dark magic, even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
There we go. Yeah, like I said, I think it might be better off if you, like, the way you sell it is essentially that you're trying to create something with the same idea, but, like, you're intertwining it with a lot of, like, really cool stuff, too. And, like, you can rebrand it. And like I said, you know, looking at, like, what the Hellfire Tavern has done right now, like, you know, I'm getting into my argument and rhetoric, I suppose, my, communication skills, but you gotta think, the Legion right now, there's nobody there, you know, like, if we're just being, like, real, like, it's just you. So it's like, what is the point of keeping the name if, like, you have a platform that's got 25 people right now? You know, everybody on the Discord would be able to see it. Every time somebody tunes into my videos on YouTube, they'd be able to, like, be like, oh, hey, like, he's doing D&D. You know, we can start marketing it, too. Like, we can go on, too, once you have it set up and you have an idea of what you're going to do, we can put it on Reddit and be like, hey, you know, we are, you know, starting to do, like, D&D stuff, like, if you want to use our platform. But, that's going to be on you to kind of figure out the way to run D&D stuff. But, yeah, like, it's going to be, like, it will be awesome. So, like, you know, I would just say, you know, don't get too hung up on the name. Like, let's talk to Poppy. Yeah, like I said, once, you know, I wouldn't be too pushy, like, I wouldn't be so pushy if I didn't think that, like, it's mutually what we both want. Like, that is very fucking clear. But, yeah, we will talk, and we will hammer out, like, the details, you know, like I said, you know, we'll probably add you to the team, definitely could use, like, you know, more help when it comes to, like, marketing and everything for the stream itself, which would be very, like, low-key, not too taxing and everything like that, but then, you know, like I said, we'd be selling your D&D stuff, too. We just, you know, the big things that like would be like your thing is like, okay, first you have to find a way to bring D&D to like other people. Like for instance, if you sat there and you found a way to like have like a webcam over top of a map, or even I could do that type of deal, try to figure out something for that anyway. You know, do something like Critical Role. That way everybody who's playing and people who are streaming could go ahead and see and hear everybody through Discord. Somebody's got the map and everything. You know, it would take a lot of work to go ahead and figure that out and set up, as far as not just like you to figure out the system to use, but like also like from, say, you know, we should find software to do that. We should do that online. And then I can go ahead and stream it. You know, I'd have to figure that out. We'd have to find a way for everybody's voice to like be something. We'd have to find people to do this with that could consistently show up for it and like can hold themselves to a decent decorum while we do it. It's gonna be a lot. And if we pull it off, it's gonna be fucking good. But like it's gonna be a lot. So that's what you have to like kind of like bear in mind. It's like, you know,
What do you mean?
are you going to be able to commit to like, you know, the amount of like looking into stuff? Like we'll help and we'll support, of course, but like, you know, it is going to be a lot of work. It is going to be a massive time commitment. You got to think, if you like say, oh yeah, like right now, and we get to a point where it's like, you know, it's like, oh man, this is too much. Well, we just got done selling it and we got it like implemented, and like all of a sudden like the person that was like heading it has backed out. That's going to be really rough. So like, you know, there's a lot of things to consider. But if it takes off, if it becomes a massive part of this, you know, like I said, you know, I wouldn't mind like cutting you into stuff. But it is going to be on a like, you know, Project Mayhem kind of basis. Like you'll control your own level of involvement there. But again, when we talk about it, I'm off on the tangent. Like I keep thinking about it because if we can pull it off, it'll be fucking cool. But like later. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like doing house rules and everything like that is not that like difficult. We can tailor make rules for campaigns. We can add or remove like different creatures and everything like that. You can play around with D&D a lot. It's nice to have the rule set already there that people already kind of know about. So, but yeah, I would say like I know you had your own system, but like D&D can be tailored into anything. Do I even have the book down here still? I don't think I have the book down here, but there's Roll20, for instance. That takes you through all of modern age, even into space age stuff. The only problem with it is, like, you can't allow laser beams, because everybody ends up using a fucking laser beam. It's malleable, is the point.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's alright. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I
Yeah.
should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
Why would Snidgets be valuable to poachers?
They could make more money with Snidgets than they ever would have fighting dragons. The golden Snidget's feathers and eyes are incredibly valuable. That's why they're believed to be extinct. They were hunted out of existence by wizard kind. If the poachers found some now, I can't bear to think about the horrific way they'd be bred and killed for profit.
Where exactly are these Snidgets allegedly hidden?
Gran says the journals were a bit cryptic, which is good. perhaps the poachers won't be clever enough to find the birds. From what she recalls, the journals only noted that the key to finding them lay in the moonlight. Gran thinks it can be narrowed down to a handful of locations.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Alright, there we go. And don't worry about it, man. Like I said, the chat is for everybody to, like, interact with. And Archer, if you have anything to say about it, go ahead and chime in, man. But, no, like I said, you know, we'll talk tomorrow type of deal as far as, like, you know, I want to make sure, like, you know, we're on the same page as, like, how we imagine this going, because, I do have a pretty decent idea of, like, how this could go and everything like that, so, like I said, tomorrow, yeah, like, if you catch me early enough, you know, definitely hit me up in there, you know, I'd say if we keep on going at this rate, like, yeah, like, we are going to be talking about this, like, the entire freaking time, so, I'd say, you know, let's worry about that, you know, tomorrow, and, yeah, we'll have talks through DMs and everything like that, and given a worst case, I'll let, oh no, it's, nice to talk about. Yeah, so, like, you know, given a worst case, I'll tell, Archer, like, my ideas, and maybe if given an absolute worst case, like, he'll holler at you and let you know, like, oh yeah, like, you know, here's what he told me about it. But, we will figure it out for sure. Like, it's a very exciting thing, honestly. And, like, what I envision for it, I think people are gonna fucking love the idea. And it's gonna attract a lot of people to what you're trying to do, and, you know, it's going to attract a lot of people to what I'm trying to do, too. But I can tell you right now, the amount of work it'll take, it's going to be a minute before we can put anything out using it. But if we start the work now, it'll come out sooner.
Did you speak with my uncle?
But anyway, yeah, let's.
I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Okay, I'm gonna put the line in the sand. Okay, enough talking about this. Archer, if we talk about it, you need to say stop. Okay, like we need to enjoy the game and have a good time and like, you know, be winding it down and relaxed. You know. Talked so much about it at this point. So let's see.
He also said he can't.
Oh, let me see. Here's a moral dilemma question for you that I'm quite fond of that we're kind of running into with Sebastian here. Okay. Do the ends justify the means? What I mean by that, like, if you knew that performing a, like, not so great act would, in the end, lead to a good thing.
Nothing, just a thought.
Okay, I can't even say that. If you, how do I put it? If you're trying to do a good deed, but it requires an evil act, would you do it?
What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you?
We just lost our parents, and we were packing up to go and live with Solomon. We couldn't take everything. She was carefully organizing her prized possessions, a box of artifacts she'd collected to do with our family. Jewelry, cards, old photographs. She got to her favorite, a handmade crest, and without a second thought, she handed it to me. This will keep you safe, she said. It holds no enchantment, but I've kept it with me since. That's how I can reach Anne. I'll get the crest to her with plans to meet.
Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled.
I would say a 1-to-2 ratio. So,
lost for his family. He'd use their
you know, let's say,
if we needed his help.
Okay, there's two. There's two specific ones I can think of. Okay. One that, like, you know, what brought it to mind the very first time I thought about it. And, sort of the really quick one that just popped into my head as far as like, okay, how do I explain? What do you mean how evil it is? So like the first one being like how evil it is. As far as the 1-to-2 ratio, you have to kill a friend because he's going to kill 2 people. But the one that got me thinking, like, you know, like the moral dilemma that was just like, holy shit, yeah, I don't, you know, that blurred the line between right and wrong. Let's say you had an entire facility of like people who were like hooked up to like machines and everything. Like, you know, it goes to the Fallout universe. It's from a fan fiction I actually read from the Fallout universe, but they're all hooked up to like this machine essentially, and like they've lost their fucking minds. Like, you can either keep them alive and eventually like hope to God somebody will be able to help them one day, or you can end their suffering right then and there. Which would you do in that case? Keep them alive or end their suffering?
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this. I'll send you an hour when I have news.
Revelio.
Okay, yeah, Archer, like, as far as that one goes, yeah, pretty much, you know, it's always up to moderation, ain't it? Like, that's always the fucking key thing, is people just don't know, you know, how to moderate it, you know, and you know, it's always, it's just like drinking, you know, you drink 1 beer, oh, I'm fine, you drink 2 beers, yeah, I'm fine, 3 beers, oh, yeah, I'm fine, you know. Eventually you get to a point where, like, you're not fine, but you're still convincing yourself that you are.
Revelio.
Pretty much. But like, you know, it's kind of wrong to do that, but that takes a lot of maturity to realize where, like, hey, like, no, I'm doing wrong stuff here, and I need to stop, you know. People lack that fundamental ability to say, like, hey, I need to fucking stop. Let's go take care of this real quick. And they're suffering. Yeah, like, I'm always torn between the two. Like, it's really, like, if I was ever put in that situation, I would probably fucking freeze. Like, as far as whether to end their suffering or to keep them around, like, you know, like, there is the possibility of, like, making them better, but, like, you know, I guess my personal experience when it comes to that kind of thing is just kind of like, I don't know, at what point is it like the chance of making them better is not sufficient evidence to, like, save them? You know, like, how much suffering and how long would somebody have to suffer for, this to actually, like, bear fruit as far as them being okay? Is it worth it? Yes, no, I don't know. You know, maybe a moderation thing there too. But, see, I would do something evil, but only if... Well, see, you know, that can be twisted really bad, Archer. For instance, if you go on a murder spree and kill every living thing on the planet, you've just made it where there can no longer be murder ever again. Because everything's dead. I know it's extreme, but it's still, you know, it tracks. Okay, we've got 3.
Everything's all right now.
Okay, we got the Fooper. We'll do the unicorns. See, that's where I think I kind of have like a little bit of an advantage when it comes to like being a recluse. Is like, you know, I don't know. I like people, like for sure. Like I like being around people. I like interacting with people and everything like that. But like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the kind of people I interact with and everything like that. But they always just seem to like, I don't know, they want to go ahead and bring their problems into, like, your life. And, like, all of a sudden, like, the more people you have, you start to realize, like, the more problems you fucking have. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like, why people can't just, like, get their shit figured out, you know, and actively try to not have shit go wrong. Like, I don't understand, like, what's so hard about that. Or, like, you know, trying to do that. But, as far as being, like, the last person alive, honest to God, if I had an internet connection, I would 100% choose to be like a lighthouse keeper or something, like on some island. As long as I had a good internet connection, I would sit on the bottom floor playing video games, and like whenever the light bulb needs changed, I'd go and do that and do the maintenance, and I'd be happy like that. You know, I guess people aren't like a necessity for my happiness. Like they do make me happy, but like in moderation. Too many people have always been a not so great thing in my life. Oh, people person. Yeah, like not me. I don't like as far as doing stuff like this interaction, like I'm doing this as long as I want to. If I want to, I could get off right now and be like, nope, see you guys, you know. And I like that, you know.
Professor Howard will never believe this.
Let's see. I can see myself, like, punch from a reason. Female protagonist, and part of that contract that she died under his care, he would use to freeze the world to death because it would be worth it. I don't know. Like I said, it's just...
You'll be pleased to know that a little Thestral was born.
I think at a certain point, I just kind of matured faster than a lot of people did. You know, and mind you, given what I've, like, survived and lived through, that's kind of an understandable thing, you know. So, like, people my age, you know, people younger than me, I don't know, it's really hard sometimes for me to, like, you know, have extended stuff with them. But, like, with streaming and everything, you know, like, if somebody comes in and, like, they tell me about a problem that I've actually got experience with, it's like, hey, cool, like, I can give advice, I can help that person through this, like, a lot easier way than, like, what I went through. But God, do you know how many fucking, like, people are out there, like, doing just, like, dumb shit for the sake of dumb shit? I had a group of friends who literally, they had a house, they had dogs, they had cars, they had fucking their life completely laid out in front of them. But you know what? They decided they wanted to be, you know, they wanted to be thug life and shit like that. Like, traded it all. They got in trouble with cops, lost their house, lost their cars, like... blows my mind, all because they wanted to be, you know, what we call tourists, you know. And the fucked up thing is like, I was born in Detroit, like, I'm more thug than they are, like, put together, you know. And, like, guess what? You know why you go into that life? To get the fuck out of it. You don't want to go back there. You don't want to flaunt that you're a part of that. It's a survival fucking thing. So to fucking willingly, like, trade a house and everything like that to go to being like that, I'll never understand it.
What a horrible tale, Deke. I'm so sorry.
Deaker's only told Professor Weasley that story, and now yourself. Deke often wonders what became of that phoenix. Deke feels fortunate to be at Hogwarts now, helping you rescue beasts. Perhaps Deke can make amends for what came before.
Moving right along. We still got to do that one. We'll do the gobbledygook. But yeah, I guess to like bring that full circle, like I do like people. I'm a very social person, but you know, and I'm doing this like knowing that anybody could come in here. But I've seen how people can destroy their own lives, and I know that people can bring a lot of unnecessary drama into like your life, and sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I like to be reclusive out of the simple fact that like I know that if I'm not interacting with anybody, I'm not gonna have any drama in my life save for that which I introduce myself. And that is a lot more relaxing to me than well, that's a lot more sustainable than, say, you know, bringing in a ton of people who like may or may not like give a shit about how much they're influencing your own life. He must be in the castle. He is. Like, why was I going up again? Let's see.
Revelio.
Ha, see, I can already tell you right now, you're sitting in here interacting with me. That's clearly bullshit.
Hello,
As
Alma.
far as you being careful.
Do I recall you saying that you speak gobbledygook?
I did.
Yeah, look who you're interacting with. Look at me. Do I look like a sound human being who knows, like, you know,
His name is Lodgok.
who knows what they're doing? Do I look like the kind of person with a plan?
Goblin mind. Would you be willing to help?
Of course. How exciting.
Oh.
I mean, well, might this be dangerous?
I think he simply.
If you say so. I suppose that kind of thing is in the eye of the beholder, but like, whatever.
Good to hear. Good to hear. If Serena
Eat
trusts
that
him,
treat
then I
now.
feel much better.
I don't know. Could I feed him stuff? Like, why can't I give Deke, like, a
I've been
sock or
reading
something?
For as long as I've been reading English. My parents have an extensive library. Once I grew bored with the classics, I devoured goblin writings. I'd tell you some titles, but you wouldn't understand them.
Have you ever spoken to
Give him something.
a goblin?
Like, Penny went ahead, I gave her a hat, and she still wants to work for me.
Actually conversing in gobbledygook with a
Once he's free, he can get whatever the fuck he
cannot
wants.
wait to confirm subtle bits of pronunciation and tone that may have eluded me, being self-taught and all.
Lodgok is waiting. Shall we go?
Of course. I just want to check the pronunciation of a couple of key terms first. So I will meet you there.
You know, and actually, you know what? That is a very, like, key point when it comes to, like, people being ungrateful. It's like, oh, it's not good enough that you know, freed me from indentured servitude. Nope, not good enough. Like, I need more than a sock. Freedom. You're gonna give me my freedom with a sock? Jesus. Ungrateful. At that point, you know, I wouldn't kill him, but I would backhand him. And I'd force him to take the damn sock. Because I'm a good person. So going to be a problem in the 30 or so people. People ended up getting into needless drama. Also, some main Legion members backstab me. Well, that's why we have moderators. You know, I can't really put it more simply than that. You know, it's just like if somebody came in here right now, yeah. If they started talking a lot of bullshit that they shouldn't be, literally they would be timed out, told like, hey, you need to stop it. If they didn't, they would be banned. you know, like I said, this whole thing is about, like, a proper decorum. For instance, I was on a, I joined a ACE, Discord, actually, thinking that, like, oh, hey, like, you know, I was really questioning everything, like, with my stuff, and, I went on there just kind of, like, hoping I could find somebody to advise me. Come to find out, a lot of the people who are part of that community are, like, under the age of 18, which is fucking terrifying. It's like, how do you know you're asexual if you're not old enough to, like, have sex? Like, you know, I mean, I guess you know type of deal, but not that fucking many. Holy shit. And I remember I was on there and I was talking to somebody and they had put on there, it's like, oh, well, this guy gave me this virtual hug and I remember I sat for hours crying and I yelled at him and everything like that. I'm like, hey, bud, like, you're on here because, like, you're having, like, trouble, like, being social. It's like, maybe don't, like, you know, set your boundaries to the point where you're boxing them fucking in. Like, it's a virtual hug, bro. Like, it's not like he ran up on you and tackled you into the fucking ground. It was a virtual hug. And I mean, I get, like, you know, we're inclusive and everything like that, but it's just like, there's a certain point where it's like you're using what, like, is going on with you as a stick to beat somebody else over the head with it. That's not fucking right.
A friend who
Like, it's not the world's job to conform to what makes you comfortable, okay? Like, there's minor things people can do to make you comfortable, but, like, you can't be expected to change every aspect of your life because your neighbor is, like, weird about it. But anyway, how this kind of goes is, like, I joined this thing and this guy was complaining about something like that, and, you know, I pretty much was like, dude, like, maybe you should just, like, lax up a little bit. Like, it wasn't the biggest of fucking deals, and, like, you might have made a friend, but instead you literally, like, went off on this fucking guy over a virtual hug, and he probably has, like, the same mentality as I do, where it's like, hey, like, that's kind of strange that you're freaking out that much about it, which, yeah, I guess you could say, like, yo, if he cared about you, like, you know, he would go ahead and do it, but, like, this was a random stranger. Like, he wasn't, like, your best fucking friend, okay? Like, this was a random stranger that you just expected to, like, conform to what you wanted them to do. And I ended up saying, essentially, that it's like, man, like, you know, if you're having trouble making friends, maybe it's because you're boxing people in with your boundaries and you should lessen up. A moderator fucking came in and was like, oh, you know, you need to respect their feelings and everything like that. And I'm like, I am. But I'm also worried about their fucking well-being. So I don't know if I was right, I don't know if I was wrong, you know, but that was my stance on the matter, and the fucking moderator, like flipped out on me, and I remember, you know, it was kind of an abuse of power thing, too, because, like, you know, he sent this gigantic message. I'm like, dude, like, I get it, but, like, can you not see my point of view? He's like, your point of view doesn't matter. I'm like, wow, okay, so we're supposed to respect each other's feelings, but you're not going to respect my point of view? I see how it is, but, you know, whatever. And he's like, I just need to know that, like, you understand. And I was like, yeah, heard. And I'm like, well, I sent you the message. I know that you heard me. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, like, there's social anxiety of being, like, a little self-conscious, and then there's, like, legitimately beating people over the head with your stick. And that one is... yeah, that's major. Like, that's something we need to look into as a society and be like, hey, like, how do we fix this? Because you can't expect everybody to conform to that. You just can't. It's just like my depression. I don't expect people to, like, constantly keep things bright and pretty and butterflies and everything like that. That's not how the world works. You know, and I think that's where a lot of people get things wrong to a degree, is, like, they think that the world's supposed to conform to us. It's not. Like, we have to try to be happy and be ourselves in a world that is kinda tailor-made for, you know, uniformity. And it's hard, you know, it is hard. But as long as, like, you know, there's a differing ideal, there's always going to be people fighting over what's right and what's wrong. But yeah, in a perfect world, sure, you know, we won't give people virtual hugs anymore. But, like, also, you know, in a perfect world, there's nothing wrong with it. There's two sides to that coin. But as far as the well-being of someone... you know, that's really what I was looking at, is the well-being of someone. You have somebody who's like sitting there also complaining about being depressed and lonely and everything like that, and that's how they're going to react to somebody like talking to them online. Yeah, it's like, no, you know, I'm sorry. Like, and maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm the asshole in the situation, but it's like, you wonder why you're alone? Really? When you reacted that way? Like, I'm sorry, but that's kind of your own fault. You have to make yourself approachable.
How else did he expect Goblinkind to get the helmet back? Seems he has no interest in making amends with you.
I'm afraid we do not have the luxury of rational expectation when it comes to Ranrock. Damn Bragbor and his blasted journals.
Oh yeah, life always does have its challenges, like, but
Renowned metal worker.
people somewhere along the line, if you ask my personal opinion, people along the way have decided that rather than trying to rise up and meet the challenge, they want to go ahead and lie down, because somehow we've got it twisted where being a victim grants you more power than actually rising and meeting adversity.
Ranrock recruited others to help me locate the repositories. We were to search anywhere that was connected to 5 names mentioned in the journals: Rackham, Fitzgerald, Bakar, Morganach, and Rookwood.
And like I said, these are just my opinions. You don't have to agree with me. It's just,
Why does Ranrock care so much?
my whole life has been like rising to like meet the challenges that I've run into, and it's been fucking hard. And like looking around and seeing people who like legitimately can straight up just give up on attempting to like do things and like somehow make a living that way. Yeah, no, like that blows my fucking mind.
Was convinced that the repositories contained a magical power that wizards wanted to keep for themselves.
Like, I want everybody to do well, but it's not like I don't. People should be given the tools to like secure their own lives. They shouldn't be given like handouts like that.
Greetings, Lord Cock. It is an honor, sir.
That's getting on to kind of controversial topics that I'd rather kind of avoid right now.
Enough. Please.
How did I get it? Oh yeah, I was talking about the whole ACE community and moderation. But yeah, when it comes to like people, when it comes to like how people like behave and everything, like that's where like, you know, I would trust my moderator, you know, and my future moderators as well to understand that like, hey, there's certain things you give warnings for, there's certain things that will not be tolerated in any way, shape, or form. And as far as the Hellfire Tavern goes, like, this is going to be a community of like-minded people. So if you got trolls, you got people being fucking assholes, yeah. Like, I want viewers and everything like that, but I want the right viewers. I want the right community. Beggars can't be choosers. Well, I'm not fucking begging. Like, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. And I want to make a healthy community for people. And you're gonna have those odd ones out who, like, just for the love of God cannot be happy with anything and need to ruin everything that's good, but we'll have a way to take care of that. Yeah, like I said, the yeah, Laura, when she came in here, like, it was the sweetest thing in the fucking world, man. She was just like, oh, you explain things so well, you're so nice, thank you. And I even sat there and said, you know, like I said, I'm honest even about myself, probably more about myself than anything else. You know, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, no, like, I'm long-winded. I've spent, like, 20 minutes explaining something I could have taken 5 seconds to explain. But, like, thank you for, like, the nicety.
I shall see you soon.
Oh, God. But yeah, no, I do want to try to sort of limit, I will do my best to kind of keep conversations short. I'm working on it. You can ask Archer. When me and him talk, like, I say goodbye probably like 20 times before I'm finally like, okay, like, if I don't fucking just shut the hell up and get out of here now, I'll never get to sleep. And yeah, when it does come to that conversation though, like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot to like plan and figure out, and it's gonna come in stages and everything like that, because you gotta think, you know, for one, we have to discuss. God damn it. But yeah, when it comes to that, like, we have to discuss, like, infrastructure, like, what our idea is, because we might be thinking of two very separate things and just not know it. We've got to talk about, like, how we're going to implement that, how everything's going to tie together.
So simple a device.
Impressive workmanship aside, it's the only way forward.
Oh yeah, people have told me, like, you know, they enjoy talking to me because I tend to be passionate about what I'm talking about, and, they just enjoy the fact that, like, I don't just assume people know 100% of what I'm saying. Some people hate it, but, anyway, yeah. There's a lot to discuss if we're gonna make it work, and, you'll find out that, maybe one of the reasons why all of this, like, as far as the Hellfire Tavern right now is kind of working out pretty decently is because, like, I've taken so much time and consideration in making sure that, like, everything is set up to succeed right off the bat.
Something else altogether.
What did that do? Ah. Damn, okay, yep, I'm gonna have to go the long way around. Yeah, it's very, like, steampunk. Got 2 tickets for the long way round. 2 bottles of whiskey for the way. Though I would not mind some sweet company. I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say? God damn it. Oh. Dude, when I'm at work, I sing that song, like,
I'm sure you know, not all goblins are as friendly
almost on a daily basis. As dumb as that sounds, like, it's how I pass the time at work, and people actually love working with me because of that. Oh yeah, this is one of the first time. It's like when you're playing Skyrim and you get to the Dwemer ruins, like, holy shit, is it a fucking, like, culture shock as far as a change of environment. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah, at work, a lot of people actually enjoy being around me because I sit there and I will sing, like, at the top of my fucking lungs like nobody is there. So it's practically like a performance, like, while working with me. So if I do not have anything akin to a very, like, I am definitely not the songbird of my generation, okay? But, like, I will sometimes, like, you know, sing a little bit. Just out of, like, my ADD brain. Yeah, my ADHD brain. I'll follow with the cups. God damn it.
You have my word.
But nah. I don't know. Maybe if I get enough of a following, I will feel, like, loved and supported enough that I might actually pull out the guitar. Because believe it or not,
Right. Don't wish to be seen, do we?
but, yeah, I kind of bonded with my grandfather over, like, playing the guitar and everything like that, and, I kind of taught myself to play via the feel of it, and, like, I refuse lessons, I refuse anything else. I'm pretty not the greatest at it, but, like, I did teach myself, like, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, the first half to Solace's Lullaby from Hell of a Boss. I learned, Jelly Rolls, Somebody Save Me. Well, I think it's just Save Me, but, yeah, I learned some pretty neat songs and everything like that. Maybe I'll do something like that for, like, maybe, I don't know, when we're just chilling and everything like that. I need to pick up another tuner, and, I think I just found my capo upstairs, so, like, luckily I have the capo. But, yeah, I would like to go ahead and find my, locate my, oh, that would have unlocked that, yep. I would like to find my tuner. Very sad thing, actually. Luckily it's not, like, the Epiphone from the 70s that my grandfather gave me, but, I had a guitar that, like, I essentially paid for a guy's down payment on a car, and, like, literally within the same month, He stole all of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my guitar, and like fucking like I was like acting like super like put out that like I would kick him out at that point. He also drank tons of my alcohol. Let's see. Oh, good question. What is your favorite Hell of a Boss song? Oof. Okay, are you talking about like overall? Like, you know, what's like out there on YouTube and everything, or are you talking about like specifically from the animation?
Adventure books I read during the summer holidays.
Overall, okay.
Let's take a look around, Armeet. See if we
Good
can find
God.
any plans.
Bound to be plans around here somewhere.
That would have to be a toss-up between Addicted, because I absolutely fucking adore that song. And I would say Hell of a Team. Cause like I know a few of them. Like Oh Millie is a fun one, you know. Oh what a thrill when the crimson starts to spill, and my Millie goes in for the kill. She takes away my breath. She's the angel of death to me. Oh Millie, when the blood starts dripping down the walls, and the bodies start to fall, my heart skips a beat when my Millie's guns are blazing in the street. Fucking A. You just can't beat content like that. But no, I know a lot of their music. But yeah, as far as my favorites, yeah, I'd have to go with definitely Addicted or
The last loyalist.
Hell of a Team.
Unfortunate, really.
And I'm an absolute fucking fan of Alistair, by the way. If I ever cosplay as anything,
Fascinating to see
I would go
how
as
people
Alistair.
written in a goblin
I fucking
hand.
love Alistair.
Flourishes are extraordinary.
But he's from Hazbin Hotel, not Hell of a Boss.
What could they be building?
Minus the first song, Stola sings. Yep, that's the... I like that song so much, I learned the first half of it. I just ejected myself, don't mind me. God damn it, you should clip that. That was fucking hilarious. Just like, whoops! 6:35. That was fucking funny behind the first one. Yeah, but no, I learned the first half of that on guitar. I absolutely adore that song. That was one of the songs that got me in, like, heartfelt into, like, the, whole animation. We got him singing now. Oh yeah, like, you know, pretty much when, if something comes up and I can think of the lyrics, I will most likely start singing the song that I'm thinking of because my brain goes to ADHD.
A schematic.
But what I'm going to tell you as far as like maybe a little hint is if you want me to continue singing, I would not reference it in any way, shape, or form. Because otherwise I'll like get self-conscious and then I won't, you know, end up like doing it ever again. So I would be careful, like that's something that like, hey, like you guys, yes, you guys experienced it, but like it should never be spoken about ever again. Like, you're welcome,
What
congratulations.
they've been building down here.
But yeah, when I was saying I memorized the first part of Solus's Lullaby, that's what I was talking about.
Mind you, suppose it could get
Let's see. Let's see, how does that go? Yeah, it's been a while since I was able to, like, pick up the guitar and everything like that, so, but yeah, it always seems so quiet in the dark. It always seems so stark. Let's see, a silence. Oh god, what is it? Hangs over the moon. It's not Innocence. I forgot what it is. It's gone so soon. But yeah, it's another one of my favorites, so. Dude, fucking that Bombarda was nice. Damn, I kind of wish Geek was here. I'm actually curious about because wasn't there a whole thing in the lore about the house elves at one point, like rebelling against like everything? Pop. Yeah, Constellation's gone so soon. You know, I used to think that I was bold. I used to think that I was, love would be fun. I used to know it word for word. See, this is what tells me I need to, like, I need to break the guitar back out 100%. But no, like I said, I am not adverse to like singing and everything like that. Like I will 100% in the right like circumstances and situations, you know. It's that self-conscious part of you. It's just like, man, are people like really here like to like hear me like horribly like butcher all the songs and music that they love? I just try to do people like a decent favor in that way. I try to spare your ears. Sorry. But nah, like I said, the more you interact with me, the more you'll realize that, like, when I actually come into myself, I have the utmost confidence. It's just I kind of need to, like, gain it. You know what I mean? Like, I've just started this whole streaming thing.
This mine is too small for whatever it is.
You know, 2 weeks in, though, and, like, it's going well. But it's just going to take me some time to kind of warm up to certain things and realize, like, oh, hey, like, you know, and it's something I'm, like, slowly convincing myself of. It's like, but no, I'm usually, like, self-conscious at first, but, like, I'm coming into the thought that, like, anybody who clicks on my videos, they're literally here to see me. Like, whatever I'm doing at the time, like, they're choosing that actively. So if I want to fucking sing, I should just fucking sing, you know. If I want to do something, I should just fucking do it, you know. But I'm coming into that still, you know, and that takes time. And the fact that, like, I realize that right now, I think it's going to be, like, really good in the future. Let's see. Chatting made my day. I must go sleep because it's 3 a.m. So I hope to chat with you about all of the exciting stuff tomorrow, man. Thank you. Oh, no problem whatsoever. Given a worst case, so yeah, feel free to DM me, you know, and all that stuff. You know, just in case I can't get to you tomorrow. Because, like I said, you know, I usually, like, will stream at random times, and I get, like, caught up in, like, ooh, I just want to stream, but I'm supposed to meet with this person, and I end up streaming. Versus, like, trying to, like, hold off and meet with the person. So, we will find time to talk, for sure. But, like, I mean, we have plenty of time. So it will be fine. Damn. Was kind of hoping that would work. But yes, sweet dreams, have a good rest. I will see you later, sir. In the next adventure, of course. Oh, man. Always. Okay. We're supposed to go to the left path, so we'll go to the right one. Thought I was... Oh, yeah. We fucking just came from there. I'm like, ooh, did I search everything? Ooh, did I search over there? And I started looping on myself.
Revelio. Revelio.
Frames... We haven't dropped any frames today. I'm thinking I might put on a little bit of music for some background noise for myself. Well, nah. I should be talking about the game and everything like that. Well, I don't know. The music could help, but then again, I might get like caught up like listening to the music and not actually comment on the game at all. So maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment with it later. Oh, hello, both of you. Goodbye. Falling all over themselves. Well, yeah, but I don't... Usually that's when, like, you're dealing with, like, say a multiplayer game or something like that. Like, maybe if it was, like, super soft and everybody could hear it, sure, but, like... I don't know, I feel like it would interrupt, like, you know, what I'm trying to put out as far as, like, you know, like the adventure, you know, if I'm not, like, if I'm sitting there listening to music, it's just like, okay, like, he can't really be into his own stuff because, like, he's clearly, like, not even paying attention to it, and I don't want to give off that vibe.
That should be the last of them, I'll eat.
But yeah, it's been very eventful day. Very fucking eventful day, man. Like, every time I fucking stream, man. Like, yesterday, nobody showed up, and it was just, like, still a very chill, like, you know, time with everybody. And then fucking you get on today, and it's just like, holy shit, now we're getting into, like, maybe doing something with D&D, and, like, you know, oh, hey, like, movie nights, and hey, like, there's this thing, and hey, there's this person, too, and good God, like... I love the fact that, like, there's so much going on, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like opportunities and not like... I don't know. It's no extra work, and that's really neat. I'm so used to just like, oh yeah, like, detesting the idea of, like, there being more shit to do. And, like, this is, like, a very rare circumstance for me where it's like, oh, holy shit, like, that would be awesome, you know?
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this thing could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgott what we found. Accio!
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the dream, you know, is to, you know, if you do what you love, you know, you'll never work a day in your life, you know, and that's the hope, you know. So it is turning out to be, yeah, like, sort of a very real, like, thing that can happen, you know. It's all coming together. It's cool.
I need a moment to catch my breath. This was
And, like,
more
it's still
like-
small and everything, but I mean,
Glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what
you
we're
know,
up to, we can get out of here.
it's ours, though. Like, we made it.
Revelio.
I mean, that's the main thing for me, is, like, we, you know, every time somebody laughs, every time somebody, like, has a good time, every time somebody thanks us for, like, what we do, like, you know, it never would have existed if we didn't do this. You know, and that's like, you know, like when you do like your shorts and everything like that, and you get the comments of like, dude, I love your laugh, like, you created that. Like, people would have never seen that if you didn't do the work that you did, you know. That's how I see it, honest to God. That's how, like, I realize that, like, this really is what I want to do. You know, like, I want this to become a thing. I realize how hard it is because of how many people want to do this as well, but, I mean, what the fuck, like, is worth it that isn't also hard, though, you know? Oh.
Can we please
Like,
talk about
for instance, you know, I got a friend who, like, you know, went toward HVAC, you know, gotten into a trade and everything like that, you know, and he says he likes it, you know, it has its days and everything like that, but, like, God, you hear, and you sense, and, like, you hear all the little things in the background and everything like that, and it's just, like, fucking miserable, man. And it's like, that's with a certification. That's with, like, you know, oh, hey, he's got a profession and everything, like, yes, like, he has work solidified, but he's always going to work for somebody else. He's never going to have time to do anything because, you know, and he's always going to struggle with his bills, and he's always going to struggle with his time management. Like, it's just, you know, I hope he doesn't, like, you know, when he hits a certain, like, threshold, like, yeah, he's supposed to, like, go on, it's supposed to be easy, but it's like, good fucking God.
Enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories.
I don't know, like, how I hear it, like, I would not want to go through that kind of mental turmoil. And then, like, the zealotry of defending it, just because it's like, yeah, if it doesn't work, like, you just wasted how much fucking time?
Share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me?
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised.
Oh yeah, well that's why this whole thing is, like, amazing to me.
Improvised research site. She was.
Yeah, like, this whole thing for me is, like, this doesn't feel like work to me. This feels like me helping people, and knowing that, like, if I got, like, you know, partnered with Twitch, and I got, like, monetized by YouTube and everything like that, I could do this, and, like, full time, and it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't. And thinking of, like, being able to provide that kind of service to people, and, like, hey, that would keep a roof over my head too, that would, like, allow me to do my job more because I have money to do things, to, like, take people on, like, you know, what me and Steph were talking about, like, take people to, like, on trips and to, like, expos and everything like that, you know. And all it takes, like, look at the following we have right now.
Miriam.
We found this many people in 2 weeks.
But how did you?
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
You know, and with the tavern, man, like, that is, like, really, like, if you want to talk about the real dream, is, like, to monetize this, get those big bucks, like all those fucking massive people are, and then use those big bucks to build the tavern. Like, that is our home, and it's just, like, legitimately, you know, we serve people on the lower levels, our rooms are upstairs, like, you know, our streaming area is somewhere. And it's literally our house
We parted ways,
at the same
with
time.
her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to
You know.
dig. Eventually,
And I would prefer it where it's, like, legitimately, that's why I want to get the team kind of together type of deal, you know, like, right now, yeah, like, we're working for moderators, we're looking for people who know marketing, who can, like, put this out to other people, you know, networking and everything like that, but, like, later on, how cool would it be like, oh yeah, like, we know somebody who likes to cook and knows how to cook, okay, bring them in, you know, like, you know, they handle the kitchen side of things, you know, and everything like that, you know, our marketing teams and everything like that handle our social media are also our waiters and waitresses. Like, you know, that would be fucking neat. You know, and we give them, like, affordable living inside the tavern if they really want to. If they really fucking want to, you know. Otherwise, we run it as, like, legitimately, you know, a tavern.
I tell you all of this, so that you
I don't know if we'd run the hotel side of things. Maybe if we charged enough type of deal, but you know, you could stay for a night, you know, if you wanted to pay for a night type of deal and use one of the rooms, you know, it would cover, like, us having to, like, maintain it and shit.
built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle.
Bringing in bands and everything like that would be fucking neat too.
Today worries me deeply.
We could do, like, whatever we wanted with it though, and especially if we had, like, a big name streaming covering it.
We shall be destined for a great
Yeah.
war. I will
And, like,
find
it's
out
there.
what
It's
Ranrock
possible. It's
learned.
100% possible. It's
Watch
just,
for my owl.
like I was saying, out of random people just clicking on our names, like, we have already got a pretty decent following. And it all happens as quickly as, like, really, you know, how much everybody else spreads it. You know, and I've definitely tried to spread it myself, but like at the same time, I'm also realizing it's like, well, shit, like I need to keep a roof over my head, so I need to get this fucking job, and I'm also trying to like get a certification, like, you know, to like further, you know, in case something goes wrong with this, you know. So like I've got school, so I'm doing school, and I've got a full-time job, and I'm like trying to do the streaming stuff. So I've got so much shit going on that like about the only thing I can really offer half the time is like, yeah, like, you know, I took some business classes, you know, and I did communications, and like this is how, like, you know, I think we should set it up and everything like that. So, you know, the best I can do is kind of orchestrate. Yeah. I don't know, it's just, like I said, you know, part of, like, the goals and everything is, you know, I would like to find more people to kind of join the team, you know, who are just as passionate about it and want it just as bad. Like, Caesar sounds like he really, like, wants this to happen. So I'm hoping that that meeting, like, you know, that we have with him is going to bear, like, really cool opportunities. And then, like, Steph, I mean, Jesus Christ, she's offered a fucking trip to fucking Disney World. She wants to go to Orlando and everything, you know. She's somebody I can play games with. She wants to get her gaming rig and everything like that. Like, that would be really fucking neat. Imagine if we got fucking sponsored by Disney just because of Steph. Like, that would be fucking, like... Oh, fuck. You know how cool it would be if, like, legitimately, like, all of a sudden there was a thing in our email that was just like, oh yeah, like, on behalf of Disney, like, we heard about, like, you playing Star Wars, and, like, we actually really liked your work, and we realized how much you've grown in 2 weeks, and realizing you've done this with no fucking money. Yeah, listen, Infrit. Listen, fucking, yeah, listen, Infrit. Listen, Infrit, listen, Archer, like, what I want you to do is you're gonna quit your job, okay? You guys are gonna quit your jobs. You're gonna, you know, we're gonna get your citizenship, like, figured out and everything, and we're gonna put you up in a place, and you're gonna stream for us. You're gonna keep streaming just like you are. Like, we'll take care of fucking everything. Like, all you need to do is exactly what you're doing. Just every now and then talk about Disney, you know? Maybe, like, leave out the facts that, you know, the fact that you don't like some of what we do, but, like, for the most part, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, I wouldn't call it hostage, okay? But no, like... Oh god. PC does not like that.
Revelio.
It lasted a while before it started messing up, but no, no, in a heartbeat, I would take that kind of fucking deal. I wouldn't do Mickey sounds, I would probably do Goofy sounds, you know, gosh! I could do it every 10 seconds if I really had to. Garsh! Like, I would literally just record myself saying Garsh and put it on a loop to play every 10 seconds, though. They probably wouldn't like it, but, you know. Oh, boy! Oh, no. You want to hear something, like, real fucked up? Another bad thing when it comes to, like, probably not good if I'm looking to get sponsored by them. So something that I was thinking about when it came to Disney one time, and I've said this for fucking years. Now, in fact, I might be the origin point of, like, this sort of iceberg thing, right? But, at the time, I didn't realize, like, Goofy and whatnot, that, like, they're cows, they're not dogs. But, like, I thought they were dogs, right? But, like, so here's the thing. Well, wait, no, Goofy, if he's a cow, like, he would have horns, and he doesn't. So, yeah, I think Goofy is a, you know, I know they confirmed that he's a fucking, but, like, the animation is, like, he's a dog. I think they might have changed it around because of, like, this exact thing I'm about to say. But, if you think there's an entire... No, he's supposed to be a cow, I think. If you Google it, I don't know, it might destroy your mentality about Goofy. But no. Anyway, I thought he was a dog. Like, but canon says he is in fact a cow. I'm fairly certain. As far as like the species, but right. So you've got Goofy and whatnot, and like let's say they are dogs, okay? Because I thought they were dogs at the time. So there's an entire race, right, of these dog people that are going around. But here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people noticed. What about Pluto? He is the only like dog. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know, but like just listen to how far this rabbit hole goes, okay? So like you've got an entire race of like these dog people. They're walking like humans, they're talking like humans, all that. But then you have Pluto, right? Who is a dog? He is clearly a dog, but he acts like a dog. So here's the conundrum. What's the deal with that? And like the ramifications, like, is Mickey just keeping a very special man in his house as a pet? I'm telling you, man, these are the things that keep me up at night. M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E. Who's the mouse who made a house just for you and me? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E. Oh, dude, no, like, the Disney World, like, the iceberg behind Disney World, for instance, you know how Disney World is considered the, like, safest place on Earth? Because nobody's died there? Well, something really messed up, really fucking messed up, is there's actually, like, a rule. They will not, they have their own, like, medics and everything like that, and they're specifically trained that if somebody were to, like, say, have a heart attack or pass away, while actually on the premises of Disneyland, they're trained to essentially get them off the property before declaring them deceased. That way, nobody dies at Disney World. Little tricks of the trade, so to speak.
I thought my owl might pique your interest.
I came as soon as I could.
I'd been so preoccupied by all that happened with Ominous in the catacomb, not to mention my uncle's reaction, that I'd almost forgotten what it was that struck me about that trip.
But now, mind you, that might not be the truth. Like, you know, you have no idea. Shit online and whatnot is all made up and everything like that. But, you know, it is weird to think about and it would make sense to a degree.
Do you think there's a connection to the triptych?
I've no idea, but perhaps they're searching it, the way they did Brookwood Castle and Isidora's Manor.
Oh, man.
How do we want to handle this?
We need to see what they're doing, but let's not draw their attention.
Very well.
And I still have that rune symbol we found on the triptych. If there is a connection, I suspect we'll see that symbol again.
After you.
Now, speaking of haunted places, there's actually a town out there that was the main, like, inspiration for, like, Silent Hill. I would love to go and see that town. Like, that shit interests me. I love the Silent Hill movies. I like the Silent Hill lore.
Kill anyone who tries.
I'd love to go see that one day. I did see that, like, the Silent Hill 2 remake had come out, but not, like, I'm not into, like, horror games, like, to the nth degree. And, like, honestly, I can watch a Let's Play of it if I really wanted to. But it's just like the Resident Evil. Like, I love Resident Evil. I absolutely adore Resident Evil, but, like, I'm just not the type of person, like, take, for instance, this game here. people have played this game. Oh, dude, no, I would love to fucking see the Haunted
Once
City.
again, we
But,
can find our way through, or be
take for
defeated.
instance, you know, like, you know, say Steph or Geek, you know, Steph who, you know, beat this game, you know, 4 times. 4 or 5 times, or Geek who's played fucking 8 times. Dude, I can't do that. Like, I don't know what it is, if like that's the normal human thing where like they can sit there and do that kind of thing, but me, I can't do that. Like, once I play something for the first time, like, it's really hard to go through it a second time when I already know the story. That's why, like, Knights of the Old Republic. What's up, Geek? I was just admiring your ability to do the same thing over and over and over. I'm kidding. But no, I was just speaking about, yeah, like, I can't do the whole, like, playing a game, like, 8 times through, 9 times
For better
through.
or for worse, we're in.
Most goblins in my family.
And, like, I'm sure I miss out on a lot of lore and everything like that, but I've just never had, like, the... I don't know, it's like... There are so many books out there, for instance.
It was closed off.
It's hard for me to, like,
Now I see.
say, like, oh, yeah, like, okay, movies... Okay, I guess I can get it, because, like, I watch, like, the same classic movies versus watching new shit. But, like, my mentality is, like, there's so many books out there, right? Like, when it comes to Harry Potter, like, why would I sit there and read a book that I've read, you know, multiple times already, instead of reading a new book? You know, but I think maybe, like, yeah, like, it takes all, you know, it takes all kinds and everybody from, like, different walks of life and everything like that. But, like, me... I'd rather experience more. You know what I mean? And that's just the type of person I am. But anyway, thanks for joining us again, Geek. I hope my sweet, sweet voice kept you lulled to sleep with how boring, like, my content actually is. No, I think I have good content. So you can memorize it and use all your knowledge on someone's... God damn it.
Quiet enough.
Incendio.
I won't rest.
God damn, I didn't even take a single hit there.
Definitely think there's something here they want.
But no, like, I absolutely do respect the, like, proficiency that you have, like, with this lore and everything like that. I do. It's just, like I said, it's hard to imagine, like, having all of that precisely. Like, I don't know, I've always stood to reason that it's more efficient to know where to find information than knowing the information itself. So it, in a way, it does kind of go against, like, sort of a very fundamental, like, logical, like, how my brain works.
Revelio.
And maybe that's why I can't do it. Because, like, you know, like I said, if I try to play the same game when I've already played through it, it's hard to pay attention to, and, like, you can very much tell that it's just kind of like, oh, you know, like, I think that's what happened here, and you actually called me out on it, was like, you know, I'm not paying attention to the dialogue. Well, it's because I've already played this game, you know, so it's just like, I can sit here and I'm not too worried about, like, paying attention to the dialogue because I've already gone through it once, you know, I haven't interacted with you guys, like, very much, so it's like, okay, like, the first time here is, like, interacting with you guys, not the dialogue, so it's hard to focus on it. Let's see, why should I do all the work if Geek is
It's no wonder
walking
spiders give
hardworking?
people
Yeah.
goosebumps.
Could be the hairy legs, or
God damn it.
soft eyes, or the venomous fangs, or any number of endearing qualities, really.
I didn't come from down there, did I? No.
Revelio.
I wouldn't say it's like, you know, oh, I do all the work type of deal. But, and plus anyway, you know, there is the possibility that, like, literally he's just running a dual monitor setup, and like while we're sitting here talking, he's got like Pottermore pulled up, so every time we talk about something, he just types in a few keywords and then relays the information. Like potentially, he could not have this all memorized. Oh no, I'm learning everything too, and it's not like, you know, it would make much of a difference if he was, you know, doing it out of his head versus,
That bridge has seen better days.
you know, if he was, like, just has all this information readily available. But I don't know. Now I've said it, now everybody's thinking it. And there's no way he could really, like, prove that, like, he's, like, recalling this all from his head. That's why I don't care that he might. See, that's, if that is the truth, and you're not lying to us, Geek, I think we know each other well enough that you wouldn't lie to us. But, nah, I do find that fucking impressive. Like, you know, like I said, though, like, you very clearly have found your passion, sir. Like, when it comes to, like, lore. And I'm fairly certain you probably are very knowledgeable on other universes, too, not just Harry Potter. But, yeah, for me, like I said, you know, I have depression, so finding stuff that I was very, like, passionate about has been kind of a struggle. Like, I finally found it when it comes to streaming. So, yeah, I understand, like, the passion behind, like, devoting that much time to a craft. And I can appreciate it.
Revelio.
In some ways, I'm kind of envious of it, too, not gonna lie. Like, I really wish there was something that encapsulated me so fucking much that, like, I could take the time and delve that deep into something, but... well... So, I'm thinking I might do God of War instead of the Avatar game. Because, like, I do want to keep kind of the momentum, and, like, I love God of War. I've played all of them so far, save for, I think, let's see, when it started getting into being a, I think the PS3, the first one for the PS3 I couldn't play because, like, at that point, money got real fucking tight. So, I couldn't, like, I couldn't play the, stuff that was coming out for the PlayStation. Now that it's ported over the PC, though, like, I can play these. So that's why I'm, like, super excited to, like, I always loved the God of War series.
Lumos.
That, and I like, you know, I like more Norse mythology. Like, legitimately, the book that I have, that, you know, I read some pages out of it while I'm trying to go to bed and everything like that, literally, the book that I have is Norse mythology, myths, and tales.
Incendio. Revelio.
Well, since they're... Oh yeah, well, I don't know. If there was, like, a way to track how many people are actually coming from Reddit because they saw a Reddit post, that's the kind of research that, like, would be helpful. Because then we could be like, okay, like, is it even worth doing? Well, I don't know. I didn't see anything that said, oh yeah, they clicked a link from Reddit.
Revelio.
But it's one of those, like, how worthwhile is it?
Lumos.
You know what I mean? Like, if we find that it's not worthwhile, then it's like, why the fuck are we still doing it, you know? So I'm gonna trust that, like, it must be to some degree, but then it's like, okay, well, how much of a degree? Is it worth it? Like... You know, I don't know. That's where, like, I kind of wish, like, you know, I kind of want to go ahead and set something where it's just like, oh yeah, like, you know, like maybe I choose 3 games and then like you can choose from those 3 games, for instance, because then that one day of Shipbreaker got us 35 views from Reddit alone. Damn. Okay, cool. But nah, I think I kind of want to implement, like, I will like come up with 3 games whenever a like Let's Play comes up, and then you pick from those 3 games which one I play. Because then I feel like that's a decent common ground between me like playing something I want and still like being able to sell it. But like if I pick 3 completely fucking like unsellable games, you're just gonna have to live with it and pick like, you know, the lesser of 3 evils. So
Why am I not surprised?
We must remain unseen.
but you know, that's where it's also kind of like if we did have like a team of mods though, for instance, like, and they all had their own Reddit profiles.
Someone's here.
Like we could easily kind of do something where it's like, okay, like, you know, if we space it out, you know, you got to think one person, right? One person, whoop, I'm not paying attention to fucking healing, but like, think about it. Like, let's say we had 3 mods, right? One person immediately goes on there and it's like, oh, hey, like, you know, this thing is, you know, happening type of deal, right? You know, they might post like 2 or 3 messages that's just like, oh yeah, like, you know, this game, something about this game, I like how this happens. You know, but then, you know, the second person, like, let's say the next day, they post something about, it's like, oh, hey, like, you know, have you seen this guy streaming it type of deal. It's on a different profile, so it still fits within 110. And then they post, like, 2 or 3 messages of, you know, oh, yeah, like, this game, yada, da, 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 da. Like, you know, and on that same day, the first person has also posted, like, 2 or 3 messages, right? So now they're up to, like, 6 or 7. Well, then the third guy, he goes on there, it's like, hey, have you seen this stream of, you know... And then he does the same thing, and they rotate, right? So by the time the first person, like, is up to, like, doing the self-promo thing, like, the last person, like, has to begin their stuff. So you gotta think outside the box. That's another idea of, like, why I wanted to do something with, like, getting everybody to do that. Yeah, you know, I'm fairly certain, might not be the best thing to talk about while streaming, but, you know, I'm pretty sure the, TOS for all of that is, like, it's not like, you know, it's not like the streamer himself is making the profiles, you know, it's just people who are choosing it to do it, you know, and fuck, the way I see it, if there's bots on Twitch that are allowed to fucking sell viewers, then why the fuck can't I, like... Why the fuck can't we do this on fucking Reddit? And it's not self-promotion. It's promoting somebody else. See?
We're not finished yet. It's almost as if they were waiting. Defender. Incendio. Confringo.
Yeah, I know. But, like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, what is the difference between, say, you going on there and putting something where it's like, oh yeah, he ain't doing shit. But honestly, I mean, I'm not even fucking paying attention halfway to the fight. Like, I was more focused on the conversation, not gonna lie, but,
Jack. For a
Slytherin.
Like, as far as self-promotion, it's just like, what is the difference between, like, what you're doing currently, right? And, you know, oh, hey, like, you know, I'm on Twitch a lot and I happen to find the streamer. Oh, hey, like, the streamer is doing it again. Oh, hey, he's online again. That's not self-promotion. You're promoting somebody else. So I don't think that would fall in the whole, like... I don't think they would be able to take it down based on their TOS.
Cabin door. Ranrock's loyalists never knew to look for it.
It's something to think about. I mean, that falls under your department, sir. I was just throwing out an idea that I was thinking about, and, you know, more senseless bitching about, like, why I disagree with how certain things are set up.
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
I wouldn't be surprised to find a couple
Leviosa.
of rune symbols.
God damn it.
Incendio. Confringo.
Damn it. Great. Invulnerable spider webs.
Wingardium Leviosa.
That's great. Oh, fuck.
Incendio.
Not sure what I did to deserve that. These runes must be connected somehow. Try casting at them more quickly.
Incendio. Bombarda.
Wasn't expecting that.
Revelio.
Yeah, your typical middle manager. Literally not doing anything except for telling you how, like, he could do your job better.
What do you have there?
A journal entry by Isadora.
Hopefully it will help us unravel more of
Sebastian,
this mystery.
I think I found something. A canvas piece.
Brilliant. Our efforts weren't in vain after all. Still,
Revelio.
something
Oh yeah, I had
about this
forgotten he
mystery
also
is
does the
odd.
canvas stuff. It's not just the fucking unforgivable bullshit.
Bombarda.
That's weird. It looks like there's a path here.
Revelio.
Check on Sebastian. Well, where the fuck is he? Oh. It's not giving me the
If the
quest
cryptic
marker.
led us here to find this bit of canvas.
Yeah, canvas-like
Probably
painting. It
assumed
is the
Isadora
painting.
Morganark was here.
She seems to have been everywhere.
If she was using the Undercroft,
Oh,
and
man.
the cellar beneath her manor in Feldcroft, why would she create this space?
And why hide it behind cryptic rune symbols? And ancient magic that no one but you could see?
Isadora and Percival Rackham. and
But nah,
others
today's gone
could see
pretty
traces of
good when it
ancient
comes
magic
to
too.
everything. You know, we had some moments where we had 5 and even
Here's
6
some of the
people on
memories
here.
I've seen. I don't think
So-
she and Isadora saw eye to eye on how this magic should be used.
This is all rather baffling. Let's take the canvas back to the triptych. Perhaps the answers are there.
It was very fun.
This place is odd, to be
Revelio.
sure. But I'm fascinated by it. Now, for the trek back out of here and to Hogwarts.
Unless we can find another passageway to the Undercroft. Let's have a look around.